Alright guys, this is how I make $10,000 a month if I had to start all over again. This is a complete guide. So I want to guide you through every step to generate a consistent income of $10,000 or more every single month on the internet. Now there's a lot of ways to make money, a lot of which I've tried. I've tried the Amazon FBA, I've tried the Shopify, I've tried crypto, I've tried everything, really. And with FBA, there's a lot of pros with it. It's a real sellable business. There's a lot of people who've built a sellable business, a successful one, and they sold it and they made, hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? It's scalable. You can add multiple products to your category or your catalog. And, you have access to manufacturers that can manufacture stuff for you. The problem is that it's a high startup cost. Gone are the days where you could get started in Amazon FBA with $500 or $2,000. Now you really need 8 to 10 grand minimum to start. There's cost of goods, there's cost of shipping, there's duties, you got to pay someone to do your pictures, you got to pay for PPC ads. There's a bunch of things. There's storage costs, there's long-term storage costs. If your items don't sell, you have to pay that to Amazon. A lot of these people online are not talking about this. And you also need to spend a bunch of time doing product research. And as soon as you get a good product and you're selling, Amazon or another competitor comes and crushes you, okay? That's why I don't like Amazon personally. You could also do drop shipping. The good thing about drop shipping is low upfront costs. It doesn't cost a lot of money to start. There's a lot of products that you can sell, and it's really, really easy to start. Anybody can start a Shopify store. It doesn't cost a bunch of money. It's very, very cheap to start. The problem is it's a very low profit margin business. There's a lot of people, especially on Twitter or X, as you call it, flaunt their screenshots, say they make hundreds of thousands of dollars a month, but they don't tell you that they only have a 10% profit margin. So when they make $100,000 a month, they're only taking home 10 grand. That's not a lot of money when you take into effect that you sold $100,000 worth of items, right? A lot of people think they actually take home 100 grand, which is not the case. Profit margins are very, very slim. And you don't really have any control over your brand or your quality because you don't really own the product, right? You're just drop shipping someone else's products. And there's a lot of competition on price. Someone new comes into the market, the only way they can compete with you is price. So they drop their price. It ends up being a price war, and it's a race to the bottom. You can also become a remote closer, which is probably one of the better ones between all the ones we already talked about. The good thing about it is it's high earning potential, right? You're basically a commission salesperson, and you have flexible work schedule for the most part. So you can probably work a couple hours a day, especially if you have a full-time job, or maybe you're a student. And there's a lot of opportunities. If you actually end up being good, a lot of other companies would want to hire you. You can become a sales manager and one day start your own business. That's also a possibility. The cons, it's very stressful and demanding. You got to have good communication skills, and it's unstable. Some months you might make like 5 grand, another month might make 1,500. So it's not very consistent. You can also do crypto, right? Invest in crypto. It's high potential returns, right? But it also means that you can also lose a bunch of money. It's also a new technology, so it's good to invest in the technology, but not to the specific coins. And you're not going to get rich overnight. Okay. The con is anything that goes up must come down. So it goes up and down very quickly. You could lose a lot of money. It's unregulated, and you need to have a fair amount of knowledge to get going and make the right moves. So that brings me to the business that I would start. I made my first few millions by starting a growth consultancy. This is basically a service-based business that requires almost zero cash. I don't want to say zero, but almost zero cash. It only requires your time, and this is the best way to make your first $10,000 a month and beyond. So the opportunity is that in today's day and age, it's the best opportunity to start and grow a growth consultancy to help successful business owners acquire more clients and increase their revenue, right? So you basically go find a business that's already making money and help them increase their revenue even beyond that. So step one, what you need to do is pick a niche or a niche, however you say it. Okay, I say niche. So picking a niche will 10x your business and make you more profitable. It's really, really important to start with a specific niche or niche. You can't start every single, you cannot service every single business owner, right? Just because a business owner makes money, they cannot become your customer. You want to pick one group of people and basically offer the same sort of service to all of them, okay? And the problem is that you have limited time and resources. You can't help everyone. So you want to be successful, you cannot market to everyone. If you're targeting everyone, you're truly targeting no one. You want to be very, very specific with that. The most powerful marketing move that you can make is to narrow your focus, and by being super, super specific, what you do, you automatically elevate your status and boost your credibility, because when you reach out to people, you say, I specifically work with your kind of businesses and help them do X, Y, and Z, their specific desired outcome. So since there's so much noise in the market, people will notice marketing content that's directed at them as opposed to anything that's generic that says, we help businesses make money online, or we help businesses generate leads. Very boring. So your campaigns will perform significantly better on any and every metric. So that's whether how many people open your emails, how many people respond to you, how many people check your website, how many people book a call with you, how many people move forward, how many people wants payment plans. The more niche you are, the more successful you be. So you tell me, there's two different kinds of headlines here. Number one says, attention owners of accounting firms making at least $1 million or more in North America. Or, attention leaders of accounting firms. Which one would you reply to? Probably number one. So if you're the owner of an accounting firm that's generating $1 million or more, you would most likely reply to the first one. So you can increase your prices when you also pick a niche. Okay, because the client understands that this solution is specific to their very specific needs, it's personalized, and the products come at a higher cost. It's kind of like a premium. So think about it. When you buy a suit, you can customize the fabric, the buttons, the colors, etc. Or you can also buy a suit off the rack and you can choose the color. So basically, you have your generic suit at H&M or any other store that's probably like $100, or your blazer. Or you can go get a custom tailored suit where you can customize the fabric, the buttons, the colors, the suede, everything. And might even cost you upwards of 10 grand. It's still a suit. It's just one costs 100 times the price of the other. So same goes for a niche. Once you pick your niche, you want to develop a service and an offer and place it in front of them. For instance, if I were to target accountants, I would find out exactly what it is they want. I know based on my experience, most businesses want to grow their revenue, want to bring on more customers. Okay? Accountants, based on the research that I've done previously, so I've done this by talking to accountants, reading articles online, watching day in the life videos of accountants. I would go to ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT, what are the top desires of accounting firm owners? What are their biggest struggles? How do they get clients? What is it that they really want that others don't know about? Things like that. ChatGPT will give you a lot of insight. Based on my conversations and all the research that I've done, I know that accountants get a lot of clients who just do their regular taxes, which they don't get paid very much. They get paid probably $100 a year to do someone's regular taxes. Or they could work with a business client that would pay them, upwards of $15,000, $20,000 per year. That's a lot more lucrative for them than to work with an individual. So I know that's what accounting business owners want, or accounting firm owners want. So what do we actually sell to them? If you're a beginner, what you could do, you could sell organic outbound marketing. It could be an organic outbound marketing agency. So your offer is essentially doing cold outbound marketing campaigns for your clients. And the pros of this is that it's quick and easy to set up, and it can be delegated very, very easily to a virtual assistant across the pond. And once you get better and you become more successful and you learn the ropes of the business, once you're intermediate, you can start a growth consultancy. Once you've gained a solid understanding of all of the online marketing landscape and landed your first few clients, it's really time for you to scale your operations, hire freelancers, contractors abroad, and bring in more specialized people and pay them a bit more. And that's really going to help you, step your game up. And you can really upgrade your current clients from your old model to the new one, right? To the growth consultancy model. And since you provide more value, you can actually charge more money for the service and even charge a percentage of their revenue for yourself. So basically, you're probably wondering, how do we actually price our services? So if you're a beginner and you're in this phase, okay, you're in the organic outbound marketing agency phase, you're basically, starting at $1,500 to $2,500 per month, and you want to increase your prices to $2,500 to $3,500 as you get better and more successful and get more results. And you want to do a minimum contract of at least 4 months. Some people might want to do month to month, especially if they feel like you're a beginner. But 4 months is what I recommend, and if you do a good enough job, they wouldn't cancel. Once you graduate into the next league or into the next level and start your own growth consultancy, you can start charging it anywhere between $3,500 to $5,000 per month. You can increase prices after that to $5,000 to $10,000 a month. Once you gain a little bit more confidence, you have a lot more wins under your belt. And on top of that, guys, you can charge a 5 to 15% of the revenue you generate to your clients. Okay, that's huge. So example, let's say you charge $4,000 a month as a growth consultancy and 10% of the revenue. So the average client for your accounting firm is worth 15 grand, let's say, and you charge 10% of that. That's $1,500, right? If you charge a 10% of their revenue you generate. So if you can retain a client for a full year and help them generate an additional 400 grand throughout the entire year in new revenue, this is how you get paid out. So your retainer, which is what you get paid every single month, is $4,000 a month. For a full 12 months, that's $48,000. And the rev share, which is the amount that you charge them for generating extra additional revenue. Let's say you charge 10% and you generate 400 grand for them in the first year. That ends up being $40,000 in your commissions that you will get paid out. So one client can pay you $88,000 a year. You only need 3 or 4 of these clients to make very good money, to make hundreds of thousands of dollars every single year. So this model works because you're basically the growth consultant. All you need to do is generate leads, close the client, collect cash, hire VAs and contractors abroad to help you basically do this, to provide the service, and you need to manage the relationship. Those are your main tasks. So your most important responsibility would be to manage the client relationships Once you got a hang of it, you can even hire an account manager that would do this for you. So these are the main things that you need to do. In the very beginning though, you don't want to start hiring people before you even know how to do it. Your first, say, 3 clients, you want to do everything because you want to create SOPs where people can, once you hire people, you can say, for clients like this, do X, Y, and Z. If they have problems, they can do this. If you're running ads, this is what you do for them. If you're running cold emails, this is what you do for them. So you want to have specific instructions to teach other people. If you don't know how to do this yourself, you can't teach others, okay? So the first thing you want to do, you want to get good yourself. Get your first 3 clients, do everything from A to Z, work overtime, put in all the time and effort that it requires to be successful. Do everything that's required, okay? Once you get your 3rd or the 4th client, then at that point, I would entertain the idea of hiring someone. That's when I really do that. But again, your most important responsibility to manage the client's relationships. Make sure you respond to the emails, you reach out to them, have conversations every couple of weeks just to make sure they're happy. What I want to talk about now is the core principles of every single business. So every single business needs to have a niche. This is basically a closely connected group of people that share similar pains and problems. I know most accounting firms lack clients. They want more business owner clients, more corporate clients that pay them more money. That way they can spend less time working and actually enjoy their lives and grow their business. Now, the transformation is the desired outcome that they want, right? What is it that they really truly want? Their transformation is to make more money with better quality clients. Now, the price is the amount of money the niche can afford to pay you or is willing to pay you for that transformation. Now, the vehicle is basically the service that you offer to them, and the platform is the marketing platform that we utilize to get in front of them. So step number 1, you want to pick your niche. You want to start by experimenting one thing and see how it goes. So think about what you enjoy. What do you watch on YouTube? What is an underserved market that has big potential? People that you know in that space. Maybe you have family members. Maybe your father's a lawyer, right? Maybe your uncle's an accountant. Maybe your mom is a realtor. Maybe your friends' parents are dentists. Maybe you want to work with dentists because of that. So what you want to do, you want to choose 3 skills that you're really good at and you really like to do. And you want to choose 5 industries that are super profitable in the next decade, right? This is another way of doing it. And match one of your skills to that, basically. Now, the examples are you can be going after accountants, lawyers, realtors, mortgage loan officers, chiropractors, roofing, dentists, HVAC. The list goes on. There's no shortage of niches. How do we actually get clients? We're going to get clients without spending any money on paid advertising on Facebook, Google, TikTok, and so on. You can get clients doing this basically manually without having to spend any money on ads. Advertisements on Facebook, Google, these platforms are very expensive. You need to spend thousands and thousands of dollars to make money. What we're gonna do, it only requires your time. What I would do if I were going after accountants, I would offer them lead generation and appointment booking as a service. So step 1, I would find your ideal clients. Once you pick your niche, go to ChatGPT and YouTube to do further research. So start doing research, find out where they hang out online, go to their website, social media profiles such as Instagram, their personal and business Facebook pages, X, LinkedIn, and so on. And for the outreach itself, what we're going to do is we're going to find the accountant's email addresses. So you want to sign up to a tool like D7 Lead Finder, and you can basically sign up to a plan such as this one, which is $62 a month. And this is going to give you 3,500 leads every single day. That's the cheaper option. The other option, which I would recommend, is Apollo. You could basically go with Apollo. It's about $100 a month, but the quality of leads are significantly better. So you can literally go and find people who are, let's say, owners, founders, partners, CEO, principal, and click more filters. And on top of that, we want to say they happen to be in the United States. And we want to say they have at least 1 to 50 employees, because when you go into bigger firms, it becomes really difficult. Not difficult, it just becomes more competitive and longer sales processes. And on top of that, we want to make sure that they're in accounting, okay? Where's the industry? Apply the filters. Now you got 34,000 accountants that came up that are, owners of accounting firms. So then you can click on their profile, do a bit of research, and do a bit of research about this individual. You can even click on their company page, accounting firm. He has 11 to 50 employees. Is in Chicago. Okay, but that's just to give you an idea how we find the leads. But what we would do is we'll scrape, select the page, and export 300-500 contacts every single day, and cold email them as well as hit them up on LinkedIn. What I would do as well, I would find their email addresses, phone numbers, and there's 3 ways of getting in front of them. There's LinkedIn, there's cold email, and there's cold call. So what I would do personally, and this is what I did to start my business, I started with LinkedIn at the time and cold call. Then later on, I introduced cold email as well, and that actually did way better. You want to do all these 3 different exercises. Once you have a list of your potential prospects, You want to get in touch with them. So the first thing you want to do is outbound emails. You could do mass emails. So this is a strategy that you simply have an introduction to your email, an offer, and a call to action for the prospect to book a meeting with you. Or you have your personalized email. So this strategy relies heavily on you doing research. So for instance, this Adrian guy, we would go look at his profile and say that write down that he's owned his accounting firm for the past 15 years. So in the beginning of the email, we say, "Hi Adrian, I was doing some research on LinkedIn last night and came across your profile. I saw that you've been running Sierra Forzenik Group for the past 15 years or 14 years, and you've been very successful." And so things like that. Drop things that are very relevant to them. And I can see that he's hiring, right? So maybe I could say something about that. That's going to come across more genuine, and you're going to get a higher response rate. The problem with it though is that it's more time consuming, so it requires more of your time. I recommend doing a mix of both. And on LinkedIn, you want to do the exact same thing. We basically want to go in, find the prospects, and just mention things that are relevant to them, and put a message in front of them with a call to action so that they engage and book a call with you. You can use free LinkedIn. The downfall of it is that it doesn't allow you to reach out to just view many profiles at once. With the Sales Navigator, which is about $100 a month, what you could do, you could look at unlimited profiles. It allows you to target people in ways that you wouldn't be able to without it. Now, so far we've gone over, picking your niche, how to find the prospects, and basically the next step is the messaging itself. Once you actually have a list of say 300 to 500 prospects, what you want to do is send them an email. So the subject would say first name, new clients. So it would say Adrian-new clients. Adrian, I came across your website and when I was looking for accountants in. So he's in Miami, so I would he would get an email that says Miami. For context, I specialize in helping accounting firms add 5 to 9 corporate clients to our accounting client attraction system. I'm curious, is this worth a chat? Now, we're sending that 300 to 500 people every single day. Most people will reply and say, no thanks, not interested, take me off your list and subscribe. Every day you get about 3 to 5 people who reply and say, yes, I'm interested, Martin, I'd like to chat. We're looking for those people. It's a very small percentage of the market. And at any given time in any market, less than 3% of people are actually interested in what you offer. So we're looking for those people. Okay? So next step is you want to start prospecting. You want to set up Google Workspaces, which is about $6 to $8 per month per inbox, depending on where you live. And you want to send emails using Gmail, or what I recommend is Instantly, which is a cold email platform. So if you go to the pricing, you can probably I would recommend going here. You can start with this one as well, $30 a month. It sends 5,000 emails per month. And this is where I would start with, but this is the ideal plan to be on once you want to scale and grow beyond that 10K a month. You can do it by setting Gmail as well, just going on your regular Gmail and sending it. It just takes forever. So next step is, now that we know how do we get in front of these leads, we want to talk about selling these prospects. What we have is a 2-call closing system. So what you want to do is you want to schedule our prospects into a 10 to 20 minute long discovery call. So all these people who respond to you and say, yeah, you know what, I'm open to a chat. You want to basically book them into a 10 to 20 minute long conversation. Typically over the phone. You can do Zoom as well. I recommend phone, it's a lot easier. The way those calls go is you briefly introduce yourself and your company. You ask questions to understand the prospect's business and their current challenges. Explain how your product or service can address the prospect's specific challenges. You want to ask qualifying questions to determine if the prospect has a budget and if they're the decision maker. The last thing you want to do is spend a bunch of time with a prospect that's not really the prospect. They're just the messenger. It never ever ends up closing. Very rarely. And then the last thing you want to do, you want to schedule a follow-up or a demo so that you can discuss the prospect's needs in more detail and basically walk them through your exact process and share your screen. Now keep in mind, if the prospect is not a good fit for your product service, be honest and be upfront and just disqualify them. Just tell them straight up, hey, I don't feel like what I do is a fit for you. I recommend you do X, Y, and Z. They're going to appreciate it a lot more. And maybe when they are a good fit, they can actually remember you and say, well, that Martin guy, he was actually very upfront and told me, and he was very honest, maybe I should have a chat with him. Maybe now is a better time, we can work together. Next step is the demo call. It's about 30 minutes to 60 minutes long. You want to start with a positive recap. Just tell them about your last conversation, what you guys were talking about. You want to dive deeper into their needs, present the offer as well, right? Just go into more detail in terms of the offer, what it is you do in more depth, and give them a live demo. It's optional, but I personally recommend it because a lot of people nowadays are a lot more sophisticated where they need to see things with their own eyes and see how it works for it to make sense. You don't want to go too far into detail as well, because if you give them too much detail, then they just keep asking questions and just get more confused. You want to give them enough where it gives them enough information to make the decision, but not too much. And of course, they're going to give you some objections, right? Ask you how long you've been in business, if they have references, things of that sort. Now, once they decide to move forward, you want to send the agreement. You want to use the following agreement template that I have here. You can literally press on it and go and create your own. And also you want to use PandaDoc for your agreements. So PandaDoc is a free tool. They have a paid plan as well. We've been using it for years. We haven't paid a single penny. And basically you can just stick with the free plan and you can upload your agreements, send it to them. They can authorize it and sign it. And that's good to go. For your payments, you want to set up a Stripe account. Stripe is the best one out there. And in order to do this, you need to basically be registered, have a registered business. And basically what Stripe does, it doesn't cost you any money to have a Stripe account. Every transaction that you run through Stripe, they charge 2.9%. So let's say if you charge $1,000, they'll charge you $29 plus 40 cents for every transaction. Okay, that's all they charge. Now, if you're only making like 10 grand a month, it doesn't matter. But once you get into say $1 million, $2 million a year, that's like 60 grand a year, right? So then what we did, we actually talked to Stripe and negotiated down our fee. So those are things you could do as well. And next step is once you've basically built your business, you're scaling, then you can look at hiring people. You can hire people from Fiverr or Upwork, and you're gonna find a lot of people across the pond, in countries such as Philippines, India, Pakistan, South Africa. There's a lot of skilled people who would love to work for a couple bucks an hour that are really good jobs and very good and very hardworking, right? And you can pay them through Upwork itself. You can pay them through PayPal, Wise, things of that sort. You could even hire a virtual assistant. There's a website you could use, which is called Virtual Assistant, or a free Facebook group, right? There's a lot of free Facebook groups that you could use. I found dozens of virtual assistants over the years on Facebook. I've never paid for a recruiter. And what you want to do, you want to focus on the skills, not location. As long as they have proper internet and their own computer and they can dedicate time to work with you, and they don't have, they have their own workstation at their home, that's all you want to do. And don't go for the cheapest. Go for the most qualified candidate that can actually do the work and is still going to be significantly more reasonable than hiring someone in North America, UK, and so on. And you're probably wondering, what is their salary? You can pay them anywhere between $200 to $500 a month, US, and they can efficiently manage all your clients, do everything for you, all the day-to-day, and help you just manage the relationships that they're on. All right, guys, that's basically it. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Go down to the description below and join my free Skool group, and I'll see you in the next one.